Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Bear with me as I check the sound. Bear with me. Babakusha. Bear with me, Babakusha. Shalom. There it is. All right. So with that, of course, call Haloyim, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that rule and teach well. Peace and shalom to the Akim out there in the elect, which the elect consists of men, women, and children selected to make it out of here from the coming nuclear destruction, all right? I'm the brother Zion Allah of the DC camp coming at you with another video. As I titled it, they are forced to talk about the chariots of Israel. And, recently, if I'm not mistaken, the Apostle Kabar made a video, a couple other brothers made a video concerning the topic. Through the years, we've always made videos concerning the topic. The chariots of Israel are our salvation. They're the instrument of how we're going to be delivered up out of this place. All right. And now, everyone, starting with the U.S. government, is being forced to now talk about it. Through years, they've covered it up. They had a Project Blue Book. Not to be confused with Project Blue Beam. Okay, they have Project Blue Book, and where they have many instances of where they've covered up the tracks of chariots. If people that have saw them, they said report that it's a weather balloon, report that it's a sky anomaly, you name it, throughout the years. But now it's getting so heavy. The sightings are getting so heavy around the world that now they're forced to talk about it. All right, and now they're talking about, in this video right here, they were talking about possibly letting something out before Trump is officially up in there. It may be that, or it may be when he's in there, who knows? But they're talking about letting something out soon. All right, because that's the spirit that we are in. It's in time of what? Israel's deliverance soon. Okay. All right. But before that deliverance, a lot of things have to happen. It has to be World War III before that, which is going to kick up that deliverance. And it has to be, of course, the MOTB. Those are the last of the major prophecies to happen before Israel goes home. All right, before we go home, man, before the Lord takes Israel and sets us in our land. As a matter of fact, let's get that. All right, shalom, akwafi, how about Shemel Shabrakta? All right, Bashar Kodash. All right, so when you go to Isaiah 14, all right, Isaiah 14 and verse 1, for the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, okay, Yaquab, and will yet choose Israel, yet choose Yasher Allah, and set them in their own land. See, and set them in their own land. Remember, we're scattered abroad. When you go to the gospel, all right, many parts in the gospel, I like to go to one in Mark. It talks about the Lord is going to, with the angels, he's the Lord, the Son of Man is going to come back in the clouds, right? And he's going to go with the angels and gather the elect from the four corners of the earth, man. All right. And he's going to send his angels out, and the angels ride around in vehicles we know as chariots. And the angels are going to gather the elect, right? And they're going to all be joined up with Yahweh Shai in a major chariot, man. Okay, they're going to go around, gather the elect in respective places, and then they're going to all go into the one chariot with Yahweh Shai. Okay, and that's going to be beautiful. See, these people don't understand. When we talk about chariots, they don't understand, all right, what that is. All right, that's why we say chariots of Israel are so-called, what they call so-called UFOs. So-called UFOs, so-called UAPs, so-called flying saucers. Okay, these are terms that the world has deemed them. And when you hear that, you automatically think of Little Green Men. You think of Independence Day. You think of Aliens and Predator, Alien versus Predator, and all that. You think of some far out stuff like that based off of what Esau has put out. Okay, you don't think of heavenly beings flying in these vehicles. And the water, Tazapunya, Bunyamin, Revelation 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. And it's funny because I was going to get that when you go to Acts. How did he leave? He left by way of the clouds, which clouds are another way of saying the chariots. They're another synonym for chariot of Israel. You have the clouds. Okay. All right. That says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Right. It says, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, because he's coming back, and all are going to see him. See, all the kindreds of the earth shall what? Shall wail because of him. All right. Verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. Rise, Israel. Quam Yasha Allah. Okay. Quam Yasha Allah. All right. Rise, Israel. And that's going to be the elect of Israel. Rise, Habakarium Yasha Allah. All right. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Yes, our enemies beheld us go up into the chariot. There's nothing they can do. And that links up with what I'm going to get, later on, of course, in Wisdom of Solomon. If I'm not mistaken, is it I believe it's the 5th chapter, Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. All right. Of course, I got to get the other one, Salakia. This is 2nd Ezra 13:3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Yes, because the thousands of heaven are talking about what? The other chariots. All right. Let's get that. Let's get, because that's how the Spirit wants. So I'm going to get it out now. All right. This is Psalm 68. And Psalm 68 in 17. It says the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. You see that? The Lord is among them. Okay? Yahweh Shai is among those chariots. All right? He was in the chariot that led Israel out of Egypt. Okay? So the Lord is among them, among the chariots. All right? So going back to what the brother wrote, all right, what the brother put down, 2nd Ezra 13:3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. All right, let's go to, let's pull our tab up real quick. Second Ezra 13, of course, follow me. All right. And it says, 2nd Ezra 13, verse 1, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, remember, he's in a chariot. All right. All they that burn that heard the voice. So a voice came out of his mouth. All they that heard that burned that voice would have had to been the laser beams coming out of the chariot. And people laugh when they hear us talk about these things. They laugh about this. All right. But it actually exists. Why does it keep happening? Okay. They think this is fairy tale talking about the angels are in the chariots. But then again, they accept little green men being in those things. Okay. All right. The Heavenly Father created some spectacular things through Yahweh Shai. I mean, man was really created on the 5th day. That was when the creature, the thing that have life, creature. We're creatures. All right. You know what else was created on the 5th day? Leviathan. He was created and put in the waters. So he rules the seas. Okay. Damn. I mean, we were created on the same day as Leviathan. All right. And it says, as far as the flesh, of course, we was in the spirit with Yahweh Shai. And Yahweh Shai created the creatures. And then guess what? That's when the spirits were put down into those creatures from the heavens. Right? Because Yahweh Shai came on the scene as Adam. And of course, we came on the scene as the children of God, the sons of God. Okay. But the creature had to be created first for the spirits to be put in it. All right. But this talking on the reason why I brought out Leviathan, just speaking on that, people would think that's a fairy tale. All right. Seeing Godzilla come out of the ocean. The Lord has created some spectacular things, and we're in that time. All right, so in verse 4 it says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard the voice. So they actually burned. All right, so you have to assume, all right, or spiritually speculate that that voice is dealing with some type of beam that they burn, and they burn once it came out of his mouth. It says, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. All right. And it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven, so all over the earth, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. The sea waters. The waters is the Shemayim. He's not actually coming out of the actual sea, because what sea would that be? Right? He's coming out of what? The Shemayim, that's the heavens. Right? And it says, but I beheld, and lo, he have graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not, because it was so huge you couldn't see the edge of it. That's why when he comes back, the brother already put, and all shall see him, all shall well. All right. See, let me see. See that? Going back to Revelation 1:7, right? Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall well because of him. See that? So everybody's going to see Yahushai's return. Okay? Why? Because the chariot is going to be so massive, they're going to have no choice, and he's going to come through the heavens. All right? That lets you know that that sea is talking about the heavens, because we just read the other scriptures talking about the same individual coming back with clouds. Clouds ain't coming out of the sea, the actual waters in the ocean. All right, so it's talking about what? Through the heavens. All right, the heaven is also known as the firmament, is also known as Shemayim, which means waters, pertaining to the waters. All right, it says, verse 8, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. Exactly. You see this individual coming with chariots, thousands of angels and so-called UFOs in their mind. That's a terrible sight. It says they came together to subdue him, to put him down, right? Right? But they were so afraid. They were very afraid. They never fought something like this. But guess what? The Lord is going to put the spirit on them to actually go up and try to think that they have a shot. All right? Because it's a foreign entity coming in their mind from another realm. Okay? So they're going to all get together and try to go fight against Yahushua and the angels. And guess what? Verse 9 says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, there goes that mouth again, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Okay? So if he's coming back in the clouds, that cloud is spitting out that blast of fire, because he's coming back in the clouds. Okay? In verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived. So they got completely turned into nothing, powder, dust, because it says it, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. See? That was a terrible sight. And that's going to be the power of Yahweh Shemel Shai when he sends Yahweh Shai back with his angels to deliver the elect. He's coming back with the innumerable chariots, the innumerable angels, and they're going to get busy, shoot lasers on who lasers need to be shot on. And it's going to be crazy, man. All right. And now you see more and more of these chariots being sighted. And the U.S. government can no longer contain it. They can no longer lie. So they're going to have to try to get in front of it and put their spin on it. All right. But the scriptures already tells you what these things are. They're not little green men. They're not aliens with big heads. This is not Independence Day. Although Independence Day was close to how it's going to look with the massive chariot and the individual chariots coming out. They got it from the scriptures. They know. All right. But when it comes to the beings, the aliens, nah, that's not going to happen. Okay. There's no Star Trek. There's no Star Wars. With all that bullshit nonsense, right? They're the angels. Okay. And soon come, we're going to have our vehicles back. Okay. We're going to have our vehicles back. We're going to have those chariots yet again. Okay. And we're going to be able to fly throughout the universe. See, that's what they want to do now, but they can't. So let me go back to this video right here. And it says, I'll get this one, Brother Thawada. You said Yagana, he put it up twice. This is Acts 1:11, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go. And we go into heaven. And we've already read that in Revelation, right? We've already discovered that in Revelation, the first chapter, the revelation of Yahushua. So it says he's going to come back in like manner, and we read that in Revelation, right? So the scriptures line up. And when you read, it's not on here. The brother didn't put it on there, but beforehand, before verse 11, it talks about they looked up. They were looking up as he was going up into heaven. They were actually looking up as he was going up. So it was a vehicle, the same type of vehicle that they had back in Exodus, okay, that delivered the Israelites, all right, out of Egypt. It was a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. That cloud by day, okay, pillar of fire by night was the same instrument that came and picked up Yahushua and took him into the heavens. All right, so let me get this video. See, bear with me.
And your first question was if China or Russia. If Russia owned it, they wouldn't be battling in Ukraine. It'd be over. Putin's ego, it wouldn't have happened. China, they would control us. Even they pretty much do now, but even more so. So that goes back to my original premise. It's either something that's extraterrestrial or something that we have in our skunk works that we are reverse engineering.
The last 5 weeks, we have continued
because Esau has his chariots as well. He's trying to mimic Yahweh Shema Shai. Remember, they try to mimic everything the Heavenly Father does on the left-hand side. Remember, he said, I will be like the Most High. You know, so he has his cameras and his things all around the earth that he's trying to get a watch over the whole earth. The Heavenly Father has his angels. Yahweh Shema Shai has the angels to be watchers. The chariots of Israel fly, go to and fro. Guess what? They have their chariots in the form of planes, jets, and also they're trying to get a will within a will on the opposite spectrum, but it doesn't move like the spiritual chariots do. It doesn't have that glow. It doesn't have anything, okay? It's constantly trying to fight against gravity using jet propulsion systems because it doesn't move by the spirit, okay? They haven't cracked into that anti-gravity where it just moves like that, okay? But they're trying.
Continued to cover whatever it is that's happening in the skies all over the world. Mysterious drones now being
you can see that's a drone. That's something man-made. You can tell.
Reported over parts of 50 states and in countries across the globe. And if you followed this story even just a little bit, you'll realize that what people are seeing and recording, this is not stuff that comes from this planet. And the complete silence on this topic from our government has only added fuel to the many theories that are now circulating right now on the internet. Dr. Stephen Greer is back with us. He's the founder of the Disclosure Project. Dr. Greer has been consistent.
See? Look, and I've got this video because this video was put up 19 hours ago. See? So basically heading into today. All right? Heading into today, probably the wee hours of the morning. you consider 12 hours, or 12 hours from, it's 3 p.m., 3:22 p.m. now, so 12 hours prior to that was 3 a.m. Then you go, okay, so yesterday, last night, right? So it's pretty close. And like the brother said, they have a SpaceX vessel called the Dragon, or Dragon. All right, so the brother said that, so let's do something. X. Look at this, SpaceX Dragon. All right, Dragon is a family of spacecraft developed and produced by American private space transportation, SpaceX. Dragon 1 flew 23 cargo missions, all right? So yeah, that SpaceX CEO, yeah, they're constantly trying to make these different vehicles. These look a lot like satellites, but of course they're improving on them, right? Because like the brother said, they have a vessel. As soon as we read the article, it said it carried about flew 23 cargo missions, so it can carry things. It can carry individuals probably. See? Dragon 2, the improved version, was introduced in 2019. It has both crewed and cargo versions. Yeah. So they have their versions, and they have them that look better than this. Come on now, this looks like a satellite. But if you're on the Earth seeing this thing move, it looks like something in the sky. You don't know what it looks like. So they have theirs on the left-hand side. They also have their chariots that look like a wheel within the wheel. All right, they're trying to mimic. Okay, and Thawada for that, Ak. You know, if I see something, I'm gonna put it up.
With us for weeks that there is a disclosure coming before the presidential inauguration, which now leaves us with 10 days. Dr. Greer, it's great to have you back. This is where we are right now. A flight crew on a commercial airplane recorded this large orb in the skies while they were at 17,000 feet. And now people, we mentioned this a week ago, are reportedly getting sick all over the world from this granular, mysterious fog that's being seen all over the place. Right. Does this disclosure happen next week? And if
now you notice what they're showing you right there, right? See, it's completely circular, right?
If it does, how does it happen? When it starts happening, how will we know?
Well, it'll be all over the news. It's good to see you again. I just heard about an hour ago from the we call the NOC. He's non-official cover aerospace intelligence community, a senior operator from one of the.
See that white orb, right? Now I want to show y'all something. If I can possibly pull it up. Let me see. What I'll do is I sent it to a, if I'm not mistaken, I sent it to a brother not too long ago. So I'm going to go to see how far back I sent it to. And bear with me. So I'm going to do that. Yup. Now it's in my history. Now I'm going to go on here. Lord willing, and hurry up and updated it, right? So I'm going to show y'all something. Right here. So I'm gonna go to my matter of fact, let me go back to this. Go to my history. Shalom to the Akim and Akwathim on the comment board. All right, check this out. I showed him this because we took this back in 2012. As a matter of fact, in the beginning of the year, and this is a this was a re-upload from that time period, 3/17/2012. Okay, so that's 13 years ago. We took this. We were down in DC, right? And we always see that chariot by the moon. I know y'all see it. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. There's always a chariot diagonal to the moon. Sometimes it's right next to it, horizontally. All right. And other times it's at a diagonal at different parts of the moon. It's probably lower right, top left, lower left, right? Somewhere around the moon. And you could tell it's close. It's not like a normal star, right? It's close because you can see it. So it's not next to the moon. It's next to the moon as far as our eyes can see it, but it's within our atmosphere, right? So let me go ahead and show you.
Because remember, we was on the bridge.
Oh shit! Look at the hole! Look at the hole! Look at the hole! Look at the hole! Look at the hole!
And those brothers, they're no longer in the DC camp, but they're, you know, shalom to them in the spirit because they're still doing the work, right? And they, those two brothers that you're listening to, they actually, the Lord put a spirit on them that always talk about the chariots and spiritual power. Now you see what they zoomed into. Now, mind you, it was on a tripod, and it was like moving in place. You see how my mouse is moving? It was moving kind of like in place, but from a distance, it looks like it's still. But it's moving in place ever so like slightly in place when you zoom in, right? And look at it. It's the same orb that we just saw that they had, right? Look at this. Similar. This is what they have. This is what we took. Look at the color. Looks like something otherworldly, beryl, right? Like the green, right?
Got a hole.
And the brothers keep saying, look at the hole. It's always a hole. Like when you go to certain NASA footage, when you see chariots going across, you know, certain NASA footage, they always had a hole like this in the middle like this. And it's funny, you can think of wheel within a wheel, right? Let's keep playing it.
Look at the hole.
You see that cut right there? You see the cut? See that hole? It got a hole, man. It got a hole in it.
Look at the hole.
In the middle.
Look at the hole.
You know them chariots be in reverse positions though.
Yeah, it be moving.
No,
It's spinning, right?
The brighter one is usually on the bottom, and the lighter one is usually on the top.
The one that's
We seen when they came in. Look at that.
the one that
Look at the hole.
was the smallest one.
Look at the
one that
hole.
was flying. It flew
That's the hole right there.
Now that
That's the smallest
now you see the camera stands still
The
though.
camera stands still. The chariot is moving.
See the hole?
The hole is right there. You see the hole?
Yeah, because that what brothers kept saying, you see the hole because it was different brothers coming up to look at it, you know, in the camp.
See the hole in the middle?
It's a cut right there. See that cut?
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
That hole is right there. Man, that's a dark hole.
Damn.
we was talking about at the crib, man.
Woo!
So much for Venus and Mercury.
Yeah, there's a hole in the middle.
See the hole? You see it? You see it, right? Yeah, that's a chariot, man.
Hey,
And that's on a still tripod.
a whole bunch of
And plus, we got
That's clear cut. See, showing you that we zoomed out.
Yeah, you see like
And we tried to get the little one that was farther, but that was real far. You see? But see, when we see these things, you're supposed to say, call Haloyim Yahweh Shmiel Shai.
we seen.
Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, Israel, because this is for us. Our deliverance is coming, man. And now these demons have no choice but to speak about these things because they're constantly being shown up. And I'm glad I was able to re-upload that video from all them years ago. You know what I mean? Because that was very precious to us to see that. These things exist. They are real. They are the chariots of Israel, and they're coming to deliver us if we be of the elect. We have to stay faithful and endure unto the end. And the chariots may come looking like different things. We have the circular wheel within the wheel. Then you also hear about the pillars, right? Don't you hear about the pillars? Let me see. Now, let me go to the one in Exodus. This is Exodus 13. It says Exodus 13, and I'm going to go down. Exodus 13 and verse 19. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn to the children of Israel, saying, the Most High will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Succoth and encamped in Etham in the edge of the wilderness. And Yahweh, right, and the Lord, Yahweh, by Shemiah Shai, went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. So they can come back looking like different things. They can come back looking like a circle, a wheel within the wheel, like the brother put. Okay, when you go to the scriptures, Ezekiel 1:16, the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl. See, that was it. The color of beryl, that greenish color. And they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. Did we not just see that? So it can come like that. It can come bigger. It can come smaller. It could come as a pillar, right? And I'm reading it, right? It says a pillar. That's going to the Hebrew, right? A pillar. It's a I, ma, wa, and da. I'm a wad. I'm a wad. Pillar, column. All right. So when you think of a pillar or column, okay, pillar. Right? You think of a pillar, you're thinking like this, right? But you got to think of it sideways flying in the air. Because guess what? I don't believe it was flying as a pillar, like even though it can, don't get me wrong. I don't believe it was a pillar flying vertically like this. I believe it was sideways. So to give it the cigar type of shape, as people like to say. And the reason why I say that is because when you go to Exodus 14, it says Exodus 14:13, and Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will shew to you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. And the Lord Yahweh Bashmel Shai said unto Moses, wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel that they go forward. But lift thou up thy rod and stretch out thy hand over the sea and divide it, and the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. And I beheld, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh and upon all the hosts, upon his chariots and upon his horsemen. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. All right. And the angel of the Most High, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them. So he was flying in a chariot, right? And it says, and the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. So before means in front of, right? So it went in front of their face, right? And stood behind them, right? Because a lot of times you see before means in front of, sometimes outside, right? Verse 20, it says, and it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. All right. And it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all night. You see that? So it had to be a pretty large chariot. All right. Because you could pretty much see a group if it was far away, if it was a flat land, you could pretty much see a group. But they didn't see him already because they were already ahead far, right? And then, just in case you would think they would catch up, the cloud was right there, and it was so big that it became darkness for the Egyptians at night, but it showed light for the ones in the front. So it had to be a massive chariot to do that. All right, because if you looked up and saw light, you would see light in the sky. So you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna keep heading towards the light. So it had to be so huge that it was complete darkness for the Egyptians, but the front of it was showing light to lead the way for the Israelites. So it had to be a massive distance. That's why I said a pillar, it would have to be kind of like vertically. Horizontally. All right. Pillar shape, but horizontally. That way you can see, matter of fact, let me see. Horizontal, didn't mean to connect them, obviously. Horizontal pillar. You see? See that? See that? And that's how most of the chariots you see in the sky, how they fly. They fly like this, like a platform. So it had to be so big that it was created darkness at night for the Egyptians. They couldn't see no stars or nothing because it was being blocked. But then the front of it, right, had to be what? Showing off light, the pillar of fire, right, for the Israelites. You see that? And I just got this to show you kind of like a visual. All right. So let me see something, Salakia. Let me get back. Matter of fact, the brother put, yeah, because I was going to get Wisdom of Solomon, because these people believe that it's going to be a rapture. All right, these people believe that the only way to go up into heaven is to die, and that's it. They have no concept of being delivered and then being brought back down to rule the earth. Okay, because the kingdom of heaven is going to be on the earth. All right, you have the heavenly realm where the heavenly Father is, but guess what? The kingdom of heaven and rulership is going to be on the planet Earth. All right, so let me go to back to Exodus 14, and it says, and it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near to the other all night. You see that? And that's why I said, in my personal belief, it would be horizontal. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. It can be vertical. It can be one massive vertical chariot and wide, so wide that it could probably do the same thing. But I'm just going off of speculations in the spirit that is horizontally, because most of the chariots fly like that. All right. See, the world don't know what the hell is going on. See, this is what the world is saying. The world is saying it was a pillar like this. All right. But if the pillar was this big, right, like this, the way they have it, you would see the fire. The Egyptians would see this. All right. See? The world don't know what's going on. They don't know that it was really a chariot. All right. See, this is what the world thinks. I mean, at least they got this pillar in the sky. These pillars in the sky. This is what the world thinks. All right, which goes into this scripture here. It says, matter of fact, let me get it on my end. Right? Let me get Wisdom of Solomon because I wanted to get it earlier anyway. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5 and verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. All right. And the brother put the same thing. Kazak Ban Yahawada. When they see it, they should be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of their salvation or the strangeness of their deliverance. So far beyond all that they look for. See that? The deliverance of Israel is going to be so far beyond all that these people look for because they're lost. They don't know what the hell's going on. They don't know how the deliverance is going to happen. They think everybody can be delivered. They don't know that deliverance is coming back for a nation of people. Just like it did in the past. It's happening again the second time. Okay? And it says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach, these niggas in their mind, because we're not niggas. And although you have some of our people that act like it, okay, and they are, talk about the wicked of our people, ultimately we're not. We're Israelites. That's a byword. Even them wicked niggas out there that I just said, even they're really Israelites. See, technically, but they're in a foolish state of mind. But the other nations are going to say, oh my gosh, like this is, so they were right. So them prophets were right. Man, it was only for them. And they're seeing us go up. Oh my gosh, really? The aliens, all messed up. Aliens taking Negroes and Latino. What the hell? Like, I see some white people going. I see some Arab-looking people going. What the hell? What? Because you have Israelites that look like the other nations. So you'll see a bunch of Israelites that look like anything going up. But guess what? Their bodies are going to be changed in a twinkling of an eye. All right. But you're going to see a lot of them see a lot of phenotypical type Jake. And what I mean by that is your standard look of a Jake. Your Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're going to see people going to see them and say, wait a minute, these people here, they're the chosen? While the missiles are coming down and the chariots are beaming up the elect from all over. Okay? Let me get that because I said it earlier. This is Mark 13 and verse 24, the return of Yahushua. But in those days after that tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. See? The same way he left. In Acts. See, it was already stated and prophesied, right? That he was going to come in the clouds. And they let them know, the angels let the disciples know after this, after Mark. The angels let the disciples know that guess what? The same way he left is the same way he coming back. The brother put it up earlier, right? And it says, and then shall he send his angels and shall gather together his elect from the four winds. That's why I said Yahushua is coming back in that big, giant, massive chariot. He said he shall send his angels and shall gather together the elect from the four winds. So the angels are going to gather the elect from the four winds, and then they're going to all go back, right, to the big fathership with Yahushua in it. And I'm going to get that next. And it says, it shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the uttermost part of the earth. It says to the uttermost part of heaven, right? So now we're going to get that one in Thessalonians. Because with all the scriptures combined, that paints a picture of how it looks, right? 1 Thessalonians 4 and verse 13. But I would not have you ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, those that have died, right? That ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua, which died in the name of Yahushua, will the Most High bring with them. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent or shall not come before them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, Quawam Israel, right? With the voice of the archangel and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Yahushua shall rise first. All right. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. See that? So it says, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds with an S. So there goes those angels with the clouds. Then it says, to meet the Lord in the air. So the individual chariots are going to gather all the elect, and we're going to all meet Yahushua in the massive chariot that he has in the air, right? Because we already know he's coming back in that big giant chariot that looks like a mountain that you can't see one side or the other. And so shall we ever be with the Lord. It's going to be beautiful then. It's going to be beautiful. That is the kingdom of heaven. That is the kingdom of Israel starting from that time. Okay? Soon come, we're going to come back down, right? New Jerusalem, refreshed, beautified. Israel is going to come back down and rule the planet Earth. That's why the next scripture says, verse 18, wherefore comfort one another with these words. Comfort one another with these words, with the words of the Yahweh Shem Shai. Let you know that these things are coming back. These vehicles are coming back to deliver the elect. It will no longer have to be in hell no more. And these people are trembling. Look at him. He's red as a beet. Is he not Esau? Okay. Not saying, just because you look like this makes you an Edomite, but for the most part, I believe he's an Edomite. These people are scared because now they're being overwhelmed and they don't know what to do. All right. Their next move for them since you have the elites of them that know what's going on, is that what they're going to have to come down on the teachers, the men of the Lord, the women that believe. They're going to have to come down on us hard, thinking that if they stop the people, they can stop what's going on. You can't stop the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay?
The key black sites, 2 black sites out in the western United States. And they are preparing to do this next week. I don't have an exact date. They intend to not only provide their testimony of operations, he's been there almost 30 years.
Let's see. He said they intend to do this next week. This was uploaded yesterday night. It's the 13th now. It was the 12th when he said it. So next week, give it up to 7 more days, up to 10 days, whatever. We'll see. We'll see. Are they going to release it since it's 7 days next week? Are they going to release it just before Trump gets in office? We'll see. All right. But it don't matter. It's still going to be released eventually because you're being overwhelmed. And the Lord is going to send more angels. It's going to be many more sightings. All right. And the world is going to not know what the hell to do. All right. So it's best for them to try to get in front of this to the best of their ability.
Years, but also the evidence and other details. Now, he's been involved in 2 things. One is the testing and the surveillance of the man-made UAPs that have been manufactured out of the Lockheed Skunk Works and Northrop Grumman complexes.
He let you know that they have man-made ones
out in the high desert.
Okay.
The other is the targeting of non-human craft. Some would say extraterrestrial, some say alien. The words are using Israel, chariots of Israel. Okay. All right. The angels, the Malaakim. Okay. You say Malaak, angel. So Malaakim, the angels. Right. That's what they are. All right. And those are our vehicles. Now is NHI, non-human intelligence, and the downing of those objects. So he's been intimately involved.
And I just want to show, and I just wanted to say that to Akim in the spirit. Remember the angels, the Alahayim that were with Yahweh Shai in the beginning during creation, right? So if Lord willing, we be those angels that kept not our first estate. Like Yahweh Shai didn't keep his first estate. He came down eventually as Adam. And we be those sons of God. That means that we were created. Yahweh Shai created us. And guess what? Guess what probably came with that? The chariots came with that. So my personal belief, I'm just speaking to me as a man. My personal belief is that our original chariots are still up in the heavens waiting on us. I believe we had chariots as angels, right, at one point. And guess what? They're waiting for us. Like we have vehicles in a spiritual parking lot or whatever, just waiting on us. Just waiting on us. I believe we had craft. And that's going to be revealed one day. Our original chariots. That's beautiful. Just like the Lord's going to give us back our original names. You think our names are what you have today, even the Hebrew names? Okay, you think my name is Zainallah? It could be. Okay. It could be. All right. But you know, I have a thing for the other name. Sometimes I put up the name Yazariah. And the brother, you know, one of the brothers know that I, you know, called myself that since jump. I almost changed my name to that a long time ago, but you know, the spirit had it otherwise. But that's kind of like my backup name. You know, Zainallah Yazariah. You know, Jezreel. That's how you say Jezreel in the Hebrew. All right. I just have a passion for that name. But I'm not saying that's my name. One day we're going to find out the name that the Lord gave us when we were created, and it's going to click. We're going, wow, you're going to recognize it. You're going to respond to it. It's going to be beautiful. And I believe we're going to have our chariots that we had too.
I've been at his facility, and that is on track. Now, keep in mind, so much of what is being seen now is sort of a decoy false operation, sort of trying to intercept what he's going to be doing and what we've been doing for some time.
But there's no way, Dr. Greer, we've talked about, there's no way all of this can be a false. It's all over the world now. It's being seen over cities in India, cities in South Korea. It's just the coordination that would be required to do something like that. I think it's beyond the scope unless there is something going on that I'm completely unaware of, which of course is a possibility.
Good afternoon. My name is Robert Salas.
What he's unaware of is what? The coming of Yahweh Shemel Shai. He's unaware of that these come from the scriptures. They're clouds. Okay? They're the clouds.
In 1967, I was a first lieutenant stationed at Malmstrom Air Force Base, Montana. Sometime in the evening hours on March 24th, I received a call from one of my topside guards, the flight security controller.
Now, of course, this is a fake example, but it's to describe what they saw. And look at it. It's a chariot. And what does it look like? It looks like a pillar of fire. See, that's why I said about the whole horizontal thing. And then it's red like this. All right.
Stating that they had been observing strange lights in the sky making odd maneuvers. He called back about 5 minutes later. This time he was screaming into the phone saying they're looking at an object, a red glowing object hovering just above our front gate. I went to wake my command.
Look at that. Does that not look like a pillar of fire? See? Where are they getting this from? Where was this written of? Let the Most High be true and every man a liar, Akim and Akwathim. We have the wonderful words of Yahweh Shemel Shai to comfort us. Lord willing, the Lord sends his son back soon to deliver the beautiful elect of Yasha Allah. Call Haloim Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, call Haloim Yahweh Shemel Shai. Hope Akim and Akwathim out there have been edified with that. Call Haloim Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, a great millstone, peace, and shalom to the elect. As always, I say, double shalom.